Welcome back to English Vera, Akio Komika Life. This is Brandon. I opened the curtain, I looked around, and I literally couldn't see anything. All of this area was lit up, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. Good morning, everyone. Ohayou gozaimasu from English Vera. Something very interesting happened last night. As you can see, I'm standing at the top of the ramp, my back field. There's my house, the old kominka. Here's my big main kura. And here is the extra storage shed right behind it. If you've looked at some of my other videos, you know it's no secret that this building is likely not savable. I have hoped that there would be a way that I could save it, but ever since I've owned the property, it has been leaning, and it has increased more so. Last night and overnight, apparently, it had some major changes, and I want to share those with you right now. First of all, I chose this angle because it's very easy to see something here. I'm standing directly behind the kura. The roof right here is very close to the center, right? This building used to be going in the same direction. Now, from there to here, look how much it has twisted. This shed, let's just call it a shed. When I first got the property, it was leaning back, and it still is. It wasn't really leaning that way so much. It was leaning mostly this way. It has increased its lean back a couple of times, and some pieces have fallen off. There were a couple of pieces of wood that were connected from the kura to the shed, and those fell off one day because it had leaned so much. Once it increased a lot because of the snow, and another time it increased a little more because of the rain. If you saw one of my other videos where I actually came back here and I dug this, you see the water here? It's a little trench here for the water to be channeled down through into this field back here. Between these two stones here, this water would just run straight down and go right down in here. You can see where the ground has just been falling out. So when it would rain, it would just create a waterfall, and the water was just dumping. Basically, it created a waterfall right here. All the water was just dumping right down here in behind the shed, and it didn't have any place to go. So this ground in here and this dirt just was always soft. The stone wall I have behind my property basically runs around the shed and behind it over here, and then across the ramp it continues that way. The water coming down from this hill, because this is a big hill coming down there, my neighbor's house is over there. I know it's kind of difficult to see. This land slopes down, and so on that side over there and on this side over here, the water was just running down constantly, flowing straight into here. If you look down there right now, the dirt is kind of dried and cracked, and that's good because my work here to stop this water coming down, it really has helped. But that doesn't mean that this building is savable, and that's what I wanted to show you. Evelyn came to visit just a couple of days ago, and last night I did a little bit of cleaning out here. I set up my outdoor shower, and after I was finished, I was going to go and check the fire to make sure that it was doused for the night. And while I was doing that, she was going to take a shower. It just so happens that while I was in the shower, there was a very loud crashing sound. Some stuff fell down. It was a mixture of sounds like wood falling down, but it also sounded like some plastic, like tarp and plastic falling down. If you remember seeing my outdoor shower, that's the only plastic that's like hanging around or could be moved around while I was taking a shower. This loud crashing sound happened, and it sounded like a combination of wood falling and like a tarp. Even though it sounded like it was like right beside me, it sounded very close to me. I opened the curtain, I looked around, and I literally couldn't see anything. It was at night, but I had a light out here. 2 lights, actually. All of this area was lit up. Nothing had fallen down. I thought, well, maybe one of the ladders hit some stuff and fell over. Maybe my antenna ladder fell over or whatever, but none of that had fallen, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. It took me a while to find it. I went inside after I took my shower. I grabbed my flashlight, and I started looking around, and let me show you what I found. This is where I was standing just a moment ago. You could see the view from the back of the shed all the way to the main kura here. Now, what caused the noise? It was the shed. Here's what it was. For those of you who've been here, and for those of you who've paid attention to my videos, you'll recognize immediately what the deal is and what caused the noise. You see all of this wood that's in here. There's tatami. Lots and lots of wood that has fallen down. Tons of wood. None of this wood was here. All of this wood was up there. And you see the sunlight through there very easily. Even pieces have fallen off the side. Some of the rafters have fallen down, like this big thick piece. This is not something that was stored. A beam that was up inside holding that stored wood. And so lots and lots of things that were stored up high fell. And that was the noise that we heard. Just a combination of junk. You know, there's some plastic, rain gutters, rope, wood, plastic baskets, tatami. There are even some boxes and stuff that were up there. And all of this stuff just fell down. Let's take a little break from that depressing stuff to take a quick glimpse at something I did yesterday. Hopefully this will make you feel a little happier. This is the driveway on the right side of my property next to the guest house Kura. Yesterday, all of the bamboo and all that old grass that I cut recently from here all the way around. I came in here yesterday and I raked it all up, picked it all up, and I took it around to the fire. And I can show that to you right now. Basically what I've done is I've come into this area beside the guest house Kura and raked all of the loose grass, bamboo, all of the dead stuff, all the way down to the back corner and around to the back. All the way around is 4 main piles and a little pile around the corner. I try to get all of those scooped up and put over there on the fire. So what does it look like right now? Let's take a look. Here's the entrance. All the way up to here is mostly done. Michael helped me clean that off. Everything from behind here is basically what I did yesterday. I even raked all of that from beside the guest house Kura all the way down. Now I can walk through here and see the ground. I don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, am I gonna step on a snake? None of that nonsense. The tiles and the stones, I put some in here. The rest of the big ones that I came across right over here. One day I'm hoping that I will never find or hit or step on another small stone or piece of tile ever again. Now you can actually see the stone and the cement that goes all the way around here. And my makeshift stream, right, flowing in the backyard. How does that look? Does it look kind of neat? This angle? It looks really cool from this angle in the morning, doesn't it? I think so. That's kind of pretty. This grass is already starting to come up, but I can trim it. No big deal. The cool thing is that now that it's mostly dry in this area, it's easy to kind of walk through here and step over here without getting too muddy. Water comes through the wall, comes down here, comes out from right here, here, and comes out from here. And these areas, even when it's not raining for like 3 weeks, these areas are always moist. My idea is to go ahead and move this over next to the cement wall that comes all the way down here and then run it straight across to connect here. Michael, somehow, he managed to drag that over here as well as this one. I'm going to use these to go down in the ground here and then have all of this water coming out from all these different places in the wall, channeling all down to this one spot and coming straight out here. The water that's coming into the backyard won't make it past this channel here. It will all go into that same channel and then be funneled right here along this cement wall all the way down next to the road. Well, that's it for that, everybody. Let's go back and finish up our discussion about what happened to the Kura. How far has it moved over? Right there. See, look at that. See what I mean? There were a couple of snowstorms we had, and after one of them, it was a huge increase in the lean. Besides all of this stuff that I noticed last night, today I noticed something else when I came out and looked around. It has also shifted that way. It's leaned that way. Even though from here all the way over to my shower is not close. It was so loud, I seriously thought the things around me were falling. And when I peeked out here, I was expecting to see something had fallen down. Like I said, you know, my tall tower with this attached to the ladder, maybe that had fallen down and it hit some other things or whatever. But I was confused about the sound because when I looked out here, I didn't see anything. Evelyn was actually sitting inside the house, and she thought the exact same thing that I did. She said it sounded like, you know, wood and plastic. She immediately said, "Are you okay?" Because she also thought it was here because of the sound and how loud it was. So in her ears and in my ears, it sounded like it was the shower in that area there. I guess it's just too much wishful thinking to believe that I can save it somehow. After this event, I can't even go in there and salvage things and pull wood out, I think, without worrying about it collapsing on top of me. I don't trust it. Evelyn and I were talking about this last night, and she said, you know, definitely shouldn't go in there if nobody's around. But honestly, I don't even think I should go in there at all. I don't want to get too close to it. It has shifted several times, and this is the first time that it has done, you know, a major shift, and I've heard it while I've been here. I've seen the results of it shifting twice before, major shifts, but I haven't seen it actually do this and heard it. That's where we're at with this. So now it's looking like the bathhouse will have to come down. You know, this is the reality of having a really old property, you know, not just in Japan, but any really old property that you want to get and fix up. You have to be concerned about what repairs you can do. You should be realistic about the things that you can't do. Sometimes if you're super wealthy and just made of money, yeah, you could throw money at some of these issues and save some things and do some things that you might not, or you definitely wouldn't be able to do otherwise without the money. But sometimes just for the sake of safety and future dependability, sometimes you just have to tear some things down. And my main focus, of course, is my kominka, my house. My secondary concern is this massive kura right next to it. Third concern is my guest house kura. It seems that I have to figure out how to handle the situation with the shed in the back and this old shed here. Ohayou gozaimasu. This is the view from the front left corner of my kura. From here you can actually see kind of a reference where these white walls here are the main kura. Some of the wood back there looks straight up and down, but these are pieces that don't represent the posts. As we come around the back side, you see right here, these are all leaning that way. You see that? So that back end especially, the whole shed is leaning back, but the back side is twisted around and leaning to the left now. And that shift is what caused some of these side pieces to fall off, and some of those rafters and all that wood to fall down.